it's Tara and welcome to Sunday Reads. I'm actually going to combine my wrap-up video and my to-read video because life is easier that way. Let's start off with what I read last week. I said that I was reading Earth Abides by George R. Stewart, and I finished it, and I expected it to be good because I really like post-apocalyptic, like novels from the 50s and 60s and sometimes from the 70s because of the atmosphere in them. They're very like explorer-y. It's a word, it's a word. No, really, it's more like about survival, and it's nitpicking like the little details, and it seems like it would be boring, but it's not to me, so I really enjoyed that, and I'm going to do a separate review and talk about that later because I really enjoyed it. I also read Confessions of a Mask by Yukio Mishima, which was published in 1949. This was not what I was expecting. I went into the book blind. I knew it was written by Yukio Mishima, and I knew that Yukio Mishima is suspected to be gay, and you know, some of his political leanings, but even so, I was quite surprised by the contents of this book. It was very meandering, and it's about a young man during World War II coming to terms with his sexuality. Actually, he doesn't come to terms with his sexuality. It's talking about how he's trying to fit into society and how he's trying to deceive himself into thinking that he can become interested in women when the character is actually very much interested in men. But it wasn't accepted in the time, and you know, there's a whole lot about that. The style reminded me a little bit of course, Yasunari Kawabata, who was one of his contemporaries, and a little bit of Shisako Endo, but also surprisingly of Hemingway, with that sort of sparse, meandering style. And I'm not actually a big fan of Hemingway. Don't attack me, but I still kind of enjoyed this meandering style, and I wonder, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to crave more Hemingway. I don't know what that is, but anyways, yes, it was pretty good if you're interested in Japanese literary fiction, especially that explores, you know, being gay in Japan in the, you know, in the time of World War II. Then, you know, it's not a exhaustive thing, but it sort of gets you into the mindset of what it must have felt like for a young man growing up gay. So yeah. I also have kept up with my goal of wanting to read a short story every day. So far I have read 10 short stories. All of them were published in Clark's World magazine. So I've worked my way through there, and there were 10, so I've just finished, and I will start probably Lightspeed or Tor later this week. And the winner for my favorite this week is The Apartment Dwellers Bestiary by Keej Johnson. It was really, like, kind of sad, but also, I guess it was kind of bittersweet. It's about all the different animals that apartment dwellers have in their apartments, some purposeful, some not, and they're all fantastic animals, so they're not actually real, but it's interesting and it's kind of depressing, but it's definitely a cool read, so I will link that down in the description. And I liked almost every single one of the stories in this month's, like, their 100th issue of Clark's World, so if you haven't checked them out, you can find some really good choices over there. So Clark's World, yes. And this has nothing to do with books, but look at my cute new earrings. Can you see? I can't tell, and I'm probably gonna mess up the focus now, but I don't know. I saw these in the store and I fell in love, and so I bought them. So yes. Also, new tea. I got Celestial Seasonings sweet coconut Thai, and it's really good to drink alone, but I also steamed some milk and added honey and put that in, and it is delicious. And on to what I'm going to be reading this week. I started Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro, which is about these children, orphans, who are raised to be organ donors, not just normal organ donors, but like donate their vital organs. And I saw the movie and I fell in love with the movie, so I've been putting off reading the book because I love the movie so much, but I'm finally reading it now, and the atmosphere is different, and the narrators, like the feeling of the narrator is different in the book, but I feel like actually so far the movie stayed fairly true to the book. So far, I'm only about a third of the way through, but I'm definitely enjoying the read and am looking forward to finishing it. I also started Beginner Theory, an Introduction to Literary and Cultural Theory by Peter Barry. Just a sort of way to refresh my studies on literary theory, because I'll be frank, I didn't understand it that well the first time through, even though I had classes like dedicated to it. It's a really slippery subject, but I think it can be rewarding at least to understand the different styles, even if I don't necessarily agree with them or if I prefer a different style. But I think it's good to know the different ways that you can look at a story, and that other people look at them, so I'll let you know how that goes. I would also like to start Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. It's one I've been meaning to start for a while, and I've owned it for months and months. I just haven't gotten around to starting it. So I've watched a lot of reviews on it, and the reviews seem to be really positive, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this one. And if I finish all of that, I would like to restart Michael Chabon's, I'm probably saying that wrong, I'm sorry, Yiddish Policeman's Union. I started reading it a while ago, maybe early last year, but I couldn't get into it, even though it should be all kinds of things that I want. The style in the beginning is just so hard to get through, I guess. Like, it's dense, is what I mean. So I'm going to attempt that one again, because I would like to clear out my backlog before I continue buying all of the books in the universe. So yeah, that's it. My wrap up and Sunday reads and, bonus footage. But anyways, I guess I will be back later this week with a review for Earth Abides, and that's it. Until next time.